Hello everyone and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, this is my daily ramble. As always, if you are new to this channel, we're fast approaching 12k. Jump on board and help us reach that, which would be a brilliant landmark for us. So if you are new to the channel or if you've been watching for ages but you ain't got an account, please jump on, sign up, it does really help us. And also don't forget to like the video because that also helps. Before we go anywhere, as always, if you haven't heard before, where's my finger? There it is. This channel is sponsored by the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company, a fantastic place over in Kent. Everyone loves their tea and coffee. I know I do, and it is a great, great place. They've been our sponsor for ages now. I love their stuff. Better than the supermarket brands, cheaper, really good if you want it for home use, but also commercial as well. They do better deals. If you use our discount code, Claret15, you get 15% off. Right, okay, on to the next one. Oh yeah, you'll find the information in our description, all right? Okay. Now, if you've been watching this show for the past few weeks, I'm assuming you have, you will have seen that I'm not committing to the fact that it's going to be Lopetegui yet. I think it is, but I'm getting mixed messaging from people, okay? Quite a few people are saying that there's trouble in paradise between Tim and Sullivan and Brady because they can't agree over the manager, but everyone else is saying it's done. I mean, you had Gollum Balaguer coming out and leaving quite a scathing tweet I couldn't really work out who it was targeted at. If you go back in his Twitter profile, you'll see it. It was only a day ago. He sort of went on to say, these people, they haven't got a clue what they're talking about, you know, reeled through Lopetegui's achievements for Sevilla, chosen for Real Madrid, chosen for Spain, and then they went, but he's not good enough for a team that finished 9th in the Premier League. You know, finished it off with, you know, these what planet are these people from? And I said then, is that aimed at the fans? Which is very strange. Why? He's close mates with Lopetegui, so why would he be sort of aiming shots at the fans? You know, I don't get what I do. Even though he did that on the West Ham network, didn't he? Kind of, you know, came on and said, you know, it's really good to listen to what the fans say, and then in the next breath, he said anyone that doubts him, sorry, he said anyone that doubts him is an idiot, basically, because they don't know what they're talking about. So, providing you agree with Gollum, you know what you're talking about. If you don't, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. So, but I did say then, I was like, well, that's a bit of a weird one. Who's that aimed at? I thought, is it the bald? Now, like I say, I'm getting mixed messaging. I'd personally, at this stage now, I've kind of accepted that it's going to be Lopetegui, and I'm fine with it. You know, he's a massive upgrade on David Moyes. Not my choice. Not my choice of manager. I think there's better out there, more suited to what we want to do. But fine, it's a big upgrade. A real big upgrade, and providing Tim gets the tools that he needs to go and drive, because it's the people that are saying it is done are saying that he's signed, or no, they're saying he's signed in a head coach capacity, which means that Tim Steiten is his boss, and Tim Steiten's going to be doing all the recruitment and the vision planning and everything else, you know, which is fine, whatever. But I'm still getting people saying that it isn't done. Why hasn't it been announced yet? You know, Liverpool have announced their new manager. They've officially announced Arne Slot. Now, this got even weirder this morning. I speak to someone who I trust very, very much. I do. Could not be a better source. And this is a confidant of a first-team player as well. An established first-team player. And even he was shocked this morning when the player called him, like he does often, but asked him, do you know who the new manager is going to be? Well, the response was, are you sure you don't know who the new manager's going to be yet? He's like, no, we know nothing. We're being told nothing. An established first-team player doesn't know. David Moyes has been gone for 2 days, 3 days now. He doesn't know who the next manager is going to be. Why would that be? Now, look, I might be, you know, making a mountain out of a molehill here. I don't know. Maybe the club are just keeping it all close-knit. They don't want to leak it to the players because the players will leak it elsewhere. And they want to be the ones that announce it. But they're already kind of doing that through, you know, the likes of Sean Whetstone on Claret and Hughes coming out saying that it's done. But they haven't said anything to the players at all. You know, these players talk to Tim as well. So you'd imagine that Tim, as a, you know, he's apparently a very approachable guy. At this stage, he'd say, yeah, look, it's done. He'd let them know who it was going to be. If it was done and it was sealed, but I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe it not be. I was very much 90% it was Lopetegui with an element of doubt. And now I'm creeping back to the 50-50 mark. Why would a first-team player, an established first-team player, not know who the next manager is going to be by this point, even if the club hadn't yet given the official announcement? Because obviously it's being leaked from the club or through whoever to the likes of Sean Whetstone and other news outlets that it is going to be Lopetegui, but that doesn't really matter because it's not got the club's name on it. You know, that's kind of what they do. I don't know. I just find it really, really strange, and quite troubling as well, because I hope it's done. I hope it's done either with Lopetegui or with whoever else it is coming in. Because obviously, look, you've got the likes of De Zerbi, who's just come into the market. De Zerbi's come out and said that he wants to stay in the Premier League. There's other managers now. The manager that I spoke to you about before, you know, Eusebio, he's linked with a raft of Premier League clubs now. So I really, really don't know what's going on. I did say before that the Tim's choice and Noble's choice, that's what was said by everyone. Even X has said the same thing, that Tim and Noble, their preference for manager was Ruben Amorim. Now that gives you an idea of the profile of manager that they were looking at. It wouldn't have just been Amorim on their shortlist, by the way. There would have been others. And they would have all been a similar profile, because a director of football will have a vision and they'd need a certain type of manager to deliver that. Well, no, not in a million years would you ever have Ruben Amorim and Lopetegui on the same sheet. They're different managers. Completely different. So you wouldn't go from one to the other. That's scattergunning. That's like going from, I don't know, Scamacca to Danny Ings. Different types of player. Do different jobs. I don't get it. So I stick by it. If Lopetegui comes in, then it is representative of the fact that David Sullivan is still completely and utterly in control of this club. He hasn't let go control to Tim, because the one key component is the manager. And if he's not even going to let Tim choose his own manager, then that's fucking ridiculous, to be quite honest. It really is. But nonetheless, it's still an upgrade. If that's what Sullivan's doing, he owns a club. If that's where we are, it's fine. We've got to accept it. But I didn't like what it stood for. I don't like what that deal stands for. I still don't. Not really. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get behind the manager if he comes in, because I am. Of course I am. But it will just fill me with a little bit more dread, and it removes that eager anticipation that I had, where I was looking forward to a new start, a fresh start, a new West Ham, where we was being driven professionally with a guy that had just football in mind, you know, in Tim. You know, that was what I wanted. When you look at what Leverkusen have achieved in the past few years, culminating with a wonderful clean sweep this year, that was kind of what I had in my mind. I thought, this is brilliant. And how can the board not look at that? How can they not look at his body of work? You know, everything that's been achieved at Leverkusen and go, yeah, he's our man. We've got to entrust him, you know? So let me know your thoughts. Anyway, I've got some other news, but I'm just going to put this one out there as its own video, because it's quite a big story. It is a story. It's not a rumour. I've had this from the horse's mouth. This key first team player has no clue who the next manager is going to be. No clue. None. What does that mean? Does it mean anything? Let me know in the comments. Speak to you all soon. Gabby you heads.